So viewers, we thank you once again for joining us here at Klikor. This morning, a rite has been performed. We don't actually understand, so we have one of our great men here who is going to give us an explanation. Yes, one of our great men here who is going to give us an explanation with all the rites that has just been performed here. Right, so we are getting close to our father. Daddy, we welcome you to Kabacha TV.
Thank you so much. And what we are witnessing now is a demonstration of why this part of Klikor and this community, this suburb of Klikor, is called Ablochivia. Small Europe or small London. And why this name? The demonstration going on and the drama going on, the pitch that this place has had been a market, a slave market before. And what you've seen the dramatists doing is, selling the slaves or marketing slaves for purchase. So Ablochivia, as it is called, everybody in Africa knows that Ablochi means Europe or America. So it is so simple to demonstrate what has happened at this part of Klikor before. Klikor, or this Ablochivia, has been a slave market where the Europeans travel, in those days and come to, and we have middlemen and agents who go out into the hinterlands and actually catch people for marketing. And those young ones who were recalcitrant sometimes were also given up by their families to be sold out into slavery. So this place has been a market, slave market before. And it is an intermediary between the hinterland and the coast where the slave ships were docked or anchored. And we have middlemen who came down to purchase the slaves, and the demonstration going on is what we have, what has been the case in those days. So slavery, as we call it, has been prominent in this part of Klikor in terms of catching people from the hinterlands and selling them out to the Europeans through middlemen. So when you go through some of the ancestral homes within this community or this suburb of Klikor, you see relics of slave trade. I'm talking about shackles, I'm talking about chains, and I'm talking about goggles and gags that they used in those days to gag our ancestors, shackle them together, chain them to the slaves, and track them to the coast where they sent them out to no more anywhere else. But what we can call slavery right now in mental slavery, our people have been, enslaved mentally to believe that everything European, everything America is better than that of Africa. But in Africa, particularly in Klikor, we are upholding what our ancestors have cherished and have left behind. And it is our duty to pass it on to the next generation. That is why you see that Klikor is imbued. Klikor is choked with traditional activities and cultural activities. So that is Klikor for you. And if there's anything that you need to know about African traditional religious practices and concepts, come to Klikor. And we have volume of it that we can pass on to you. Therefore, Klikor is a citadel of religious and spiritual and cultural activities. Well, the drum you have just observed or you just witnessed, or that is going on at the moment, is govu. We call it govu. Govu.
Can you get
Go is God. When you say God, God from which we carve calabashes and stray and calabash and rattles. So the bigger type of it is called a go. But calabash itself is manufactured from a go. A go is God in English. Anyway, so I told you about slavery or slave market being here. And in those days, you could see that the one that was being played, has some cowries woven around it. Those cowries, each and every cowrie, represent slaves that have been sold or that have been bought.
Okay.
So our ancestors who participated in slavery are represented with the number of cowries. The number of cowries on the god determines the number of slaves that has been bought by a particular ancestor and traded out by a particular ancestor. Okay. So we are talking about slavery in general terms. But slavery, it doesn't mean that anybody bought with money and kept and sold out to the Europeans are what we call slavery. Slavery is general. Okay. Slavery means that somebody can be brought to you, from the family or mortgaged with money. Mm-hmm. So you pay the parents, they give you the child or they give you the young one to help you for a period of time. So if that goes on or that go on, in a particular family, it is part of it is one way or the other slavery. So that little one or that young man or that woman will be in the house and help in everything that the master or the mistress asked her or requested of her. So that is one way of slavery. But we always look at slavery in terms of human beings that are sold out to Europeans, to the Americas, and across the oceans. That is not what we call slavery. Slavery cut across board. And domestically, people have slaves within their family. People even bring their own people to slave with those who are materially, physically, and financially endowed, and they keep them in their houses as a household, labor or laborers. Those people are also in slavery. Okay. And if the parents don't come back or the family don't come back to pay the money mortgaged, then that particular person stay for good in the family, and it becomes part of the family. So the more you live in that sort of slavery, the more you become or fabricate, accepted into the family, and you become member of the family. So when you go around, you realize that there are people who are called Donko, and this Donko name means somebody who has been living in what? Slavery.
Okay.
And when you go to Ketekrachi, you have what we call Fofi and Krachi Dente.
Okay, so can you explain those?
And we have Krachi Dente as a divinity or as a deity in this community, imported from Krachi.
Okay.
I'm talking about Ketekrachi.
Okay.
And when you take people from those parts of Africa or those parts of Ghana, and you bring them to, because they are nomads, so those they travel, and people travel from Bolga, from Paga, down to this part of Ghana, just to settle, or sometimes to trade with the people of the south, because they come with cowries, they come with bees and stuff like that, and they trade them out, and they stay within the family. So if those people are dead and gone, their families remain here, their children remain here, and they are married into the families of the host family, and they become more or less members of the family. So what happens is, when these people are kept in the family for a very long time, they become part of the family, but they are coming from different clans, they are coming from different traditional, religious, based background. So sometimes we lost track of their clan, their ceremonies, their rites, everything about them. When I'm talking about rights, not about human rights, but cultural rights. I'm talking about rituals that must be performed for them when they are dead and gone, or whatever it is. So sometimes we have to do some sort of commemorative ceremonies for them, and they have tools that are instituted to pacify some of those slaves or some of those people who are bought from various parts of Ghana to live with families or to be mortgaged into rich and financially endowed families in Klikor. So it's not only in Klikor, but other parts of Ghana. So you go to families, you see Donko and sort of that. Those are the names given to differentiate or to identify them within the real family members of the community. So there is a song that is sung that Donko Gba Paramo, Aparama Donko Gba Paramo. That means almost in every home there is a slave.
Okay.
And if you like, I can sing that song for you.
Feel free.
Aparamo Donko Gba Paramo. Aparama Donko Gba Paramo. Aparame Donko Gba Paramo. Aparama Donko Gba Paramo. Aparame Donko Gba Paramo. Aparamo Donko Gba Paramo. That means in every home in this part of our world there is a slave. Slave. Call it European type of slavery, call it African type of slavery. Even yourself, if somebody decides to live with you who is not your family member, and you see the person is hardworking, and you feel like, no, you have to keep him or her and appreciate his effort in the family, why not? You accept that person, even though you don't know his background.
So
practically, there is always Donko, or there's always a slave in every home. As we speak today, there are many people in this Klikor that are not indigenous of Klikor. They come from different backgrounds, different parts of Ghana, and they are living within us. And some are trading with us. And if you go around, you'll see that, Muslims are also here, other tribes are here, and they are trading and they are living with us comfortably. So that is how it is.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that those who are working on themselves or by themselves are also slaves. No. I am trying to interpret how slavery is interpreted, in our European sense or foreign sense, that those who have been sold out to Americas and to the Europe are only the slaves. No, that is not the case. That is not enough. That is not enough interpretation of slavery. So I want to tell you that the drama that has gone on actually demonstrates what has happened hundreds of years ago during the days of our ancestors, and we are still keeping it on. Even though people are laughing, people are enjoying the show, people are enjoying the drama, and even the dramatists themselves were also laughing, and it was a serious, sorrowful, and miserable situation which nobody would like to be repeated this time of the day. And this time around, nobody wants to be sold out to slavery, and no way we could bring back that slave trade again. But they are only demonstrating what has happened before, historically, for you to know the historical fact within Klikor community, not only about the shrines, but about history of Klikor and the history of Everland. Well, the drum we heard when we were, talking about the Egohu, is actually a signal to the community that the ban on noise making and drumming is lifted.
Oh, really? So it means there was a ban?
There was a ban
of drumming
almost 1.5 months of ban on excessive noise making and drumming. Okay. So you could see that within the demonstration, the slave demonstration by the artists on the drama, we went out and the priest went and poured libation. Okay. After the libation, there was firing of musketry. And when we came back, the drumming was going on. I mean, the govu, the dramatization of the drama, the dramatization of slavery was still going on. So when that was finished, then we heard another drumming going on. Then we heard another drumming going on. Oh, yes, it's an announcement to the community that the ban is now lifted. So everybody is free to play or to enjoy music to any decibel or any volume. So the whole community is now free to continue with their noise making, and drumming and celebration.
Okay. So is there any significant or the reason why you put place ban on drumming and noise making?
Yes, spiritually there's always the spirits needs a quiet time to be able to perform certain spiritual rites. They need a community to be very quiet. They need a community to be off, noise and excessive making. And some of the funerals are not allowed to be performed because during this period, this spiritual period, the divinities and the spirits and the deities need total peace, total quietude, silence. They don't need any disturbances. Even crying or wailing shouldn't be part of the community until everything is finished. All the rituals, all the rites, all the ceremonies are, performed. Then they leave the ban. The ban is purposely, significantly, just to provide that solemn, quiet, and peaceful environment for the spirit to perform their duties. Actually, it is not only for spiritual reasons, but for physical reasons. We, the human beings ourselves, when the spirit finish whatever they are doing in the spirit, as we provide them that peace of mind, that quietude, we see the manifestation of those works manifesting in whatever we do as human beings, physically. So spiritually, things go on that we don't see with our naked eyes, but the ban on noise making and excessive, drumming provide that environment, that, blissful environment, that conducive environment for the spirits to do their own things.
Okay. So with this kind of band, I would love to ask that does it also affect the other religions like the Muslims and then the Christians?
Of course, yes. It affects the whole community because
why should it be so?
It should be.
It's your tradition.
It's our tradition.
Religion.
Yes.
So I'm thinking it shouldn't affect any other religion.
No. I wouldn't agree with you. Simple because those new religions are foreign religions. They are contemporary religions. This right have lived with Klikor and our ancestors from generation to generation. Therefore, in our adage, we have Jokleke, Plechovado, Mosonau.
What does it mean?
The tree that grew from the ground and the one that is cut and planted will never be the same.
Okay.
So we are the indigents. And when the paramount chief lay ban on noise making and drumming, who are you to say you are having a right of any religious divide? Therefore, you will not respect the order of the paramount chief. It is uncalled for, and it is the highest disrespect to the authorities of Klikor and therefore its spiritual energies.
Okay.
So as for that one, if you believe that you belong to any other religious sect, therefore you want to violate the rules of the divinities, I want to tell you that the ramifications of such act or such action will not be determined by we the human beings, but the spirits.
What are some of those dedications that will come up?
That one I will not tell you. It has been happening. It has been happening to people. It has been happening to them. They are getting the punishment on daily basis. Therefore, it is not my place, and I don't have the mandate to tell you this and this or mention names. No, but they know it. They know it. It is not proper. It's not acceptable to violate the community's rule, especially a rule or a ban laid by the traditional ruler, the paramount chief of the traditional area. Okay. It is disrespectful.
Okay. And we would like to thank you. You just save your breath for us. In the subsequent programs or whatever goes on, we'll still draw close.
But I have a question for you.
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, if you build your own house, if you build your house, and in your house you have rules that sweeping in the night is not allowed, and you have a tenant in your house who is fond of sweeping in the night, what do you tell that tenant?
Oh, that one, yeah, I do. I'll send him off.
You send him off? Which way you will send him?
It's violating my rules and my record.
It's the same thing. So if there is a religious organization which doesn't want to respect the authority of the landlord of Klikor community, it is his own or her own cup of tea. If the ramifications are coming, that one, it is not you, it is not me to defend it. Okay. It must happen, and it will always happen.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my brother.
We'll get back to you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm always around.
All right.
My doors are open.
All right. Thank you.
You always come.
Okay.
But in Ghana, we have religious, rights as far as our constitution is concerned.
Sure.
Therefore, I will not inflict my religious practice on any sect.
Okay.
And I will not allow any religious, organization to inflict on my right too. Okay. But I want to tell you that the other religions are always trespassing and encroaching on the rights of traditional religious practitioners with impunity.